To my left, Brother Jacob. All right, now tonight's topic, brothers and sisters, is called "In Dead Things Is There Hope." Okay, as we will find out, a lot of our people love it. You good? All right, okay. Yeah, people have to mute their mics. Okay, understand something, brothers and sisters. Our people love dead things, okay? Dead works of darkness. We love it. Even today, in the wicked day they call Memorial Day, okay? A lot of our people love dead. They love idols. They're in the midst of idolatry because they're following the other nations. They're following the customs of the other nations, okay? What we're going to do tonight, they always want to say we in the midst of hate. You so-called blacks, and you so-called Hispanics whose fathers are of Negroid and Indian descent, we are the biblical Israelites, okay? But what people tend to do, because we're saying that, and because we can prove it through scholarship, as well as the Holy Scriptures, we have to always say that, thus saith the Lord God, as it is written. They always want to accuse us, as we know, accuse of the brethren, accuse us of hatred. But David says something about hate. Right? He says, because at the end of the day, hatred is when we don't tell our people who they are. Right. Hatred is when we don't apply the scriptures to our people. That's what hatred is. Hatred isn't us saying the Lord has severed us from other nations. That's not hatred. Because the Lord said, I don't want you to take part in their customs to separate you from me. That's hatred. If we continue to keep doing that, what you think is going to happen? Okay, let me just prove a point, okay? This is a little bit off topic. Give me the book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 12 for a second. And read the 24, brother. Because we're going to deal with this hate situation. Because we always get these inboxes. People always constantly trying to attack, which is cool. I mean, we don't, at the end of the day, we have to prove a point according to the scriptures. They use that term hate. We're like, we are a hate group, but at the end of the day, what does David say about hate? Okay, the book of Psalms, chapter 139, verse 12, bro.
The book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 12.
Right.
Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee.
See, the darkness hideth not. Read on.
But the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. Verse 13. For thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. Verse 14. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelously are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Verse 15. My substance was not hid from thee, when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth.
Right. Well, one thing you have to keep in mind, when we keep on reading on, brother.
Verse 16. Thy eyes did see my substance. Yet being unperfect, and in thy book of all my members were written, which is contents were fastened, when as yet there was none of them.
Right.
Verse 17.
Right.
How precious also are thy thoughts unto me.
Right.
O God, how great is the sum of them. Verse 18.
Right.
If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee.
With the Most High, read on.
Surely thou wilt slay the wicked.
The Most High says he's going to slay the wicked. Because keep in mind, the way of wickedness is the way this world and this man's kingdom is ran. Okay? Because as you see, everything the Most High says don't do, he says do it. Okay? Read on, though.
Surely thou wilt slay the wicked. O God, depart from their fault, ye bloody men.
Ye bloody men, because you're dealing with, right now they're celebrating this holiday called Memorial Day. And you have to understand something. This man thrives in war. Okay? He wants to celebrate Memorial Day. They call it Memorial Day, is what they call it, right? Read on.
Verse 20. For they speak against the wicked.
They speak against the Most High wickedly. Because on one end, you say, God bless America on one end. But on the other end, you deal with these people falsely. You destroy his people. And everything the Most High says do, you don't do. Okay, you go against his commandments, right? Read on.
And thine enemies take thy name in vain.
Oh, they prophesy lies. The Lord loves everybody. You know, they tell you, oh, you know, even Christ, oh, Christ is a white man. Oh, it don't matter what he is. But it's funny. You say it don't matter who he is, but at the end of the day, you always paint him white though.
Right.
Okay, the Bible describes him as something else, but you paint him white.
Right.
Okay, you deal with him through vain, lies. Read on.
Verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord?
Oh, who's saying this? David's saying this. David had the Spirit of Christ on him saying this. David ain't just making this up.
Right.
Okay, what does David say?
Do not I hate them, O Lord?
Read on.
That hate thee.
That hate thee, because they hate the Most High. Hate the Most High means you ain't keeping his commandments. To love the Most High is you keep his commandments. So if the Most High said don't eat a pork chop sandwich, you saying eat the Baconator, you're showing hatred to the Most High.
Right.
If the Most High said don't be a homosexual, he says in the scriptures, and then the Pope says, oh, it's okay. That means you're showing the Most High hatred.
Right.
It don't mean that, you know, we're sitting there making this up. This is as it is written.
Right.
Read on. He says that hate thee, right?
Right.
Read on.
And I am not grieved with those that rise up against thee.
Read on.
Verse 22. I hate them with a perfect hatred.
You hear what the Bible says? He said, I hate them with a perfect hatred. Because you hate the Most High, therefore we must hate you. I don't care who it is. It can be another Israelite who hate the Most High.
Right.
So we have no respect of person. So don't think just because we're saying we have hatred towards certain things. We hate things that are against the scriptures, man. If you hate the Most High, you better believe we're gonna hate you. So don't get it twisted and think, oh, well, y'all, that's the hate. Y'all hate people. No, we hate them that is against the Most High.
Anything evil,
right?
Anything wicked.
Right? Because the Most High. What does it say again, brother?
The book of Psalms. Chapter 139, verse 22.
Right.
I hate them with a perfect hatred.
Read on.
I count them my enemies.
He count them as enemies because you're the enemy of the Most High. So I don't care if it's family member. I don't care who it is. If they hate the Most High, guess what? We're going to be against you. Right. So don't get it twisted and think, oh, they just hate white people or they hate these people. No, you could be a daggone Israelite and hate the Most High. You better believe we're not going to line up with that.
Right.
Like Christ telling the Pharisees,
right?
Ye are of your father
the devil. Exactly. He was going against his own people. Christ was going against the Pharisees and said, "You are your father, the devil." You see what I'm saying?
They're doing the works.
They're doing the works of Satan. So when you keep saying, "Oh, they just a hate group," no, we're showing that. Listen, man. If you're against these scriptures, you're against the Most High. You better believe we're gonna have hatred for you, because David says, "I hate them with a perfect hatred." You know what I'm saying? So I just want to get that out the way. Okay.
But if you repent, you'll rejoice right with
you. Better believe it. Yeah, exactly. Because repentance, the flip side, the flip side of it, if you work yourself towards repentance, make supplication, start trying to keep the commandments, then you know we can reconcile.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we're trying to make peace with the Most High through Christ. Okay? Because the Most High, let me tell you this, the Most High hates us if we don't keep commandments.
Right.
And we're supposed to be, we as his heritage. So if we're not keeping his commandments as it is written,
right,
what makes you think he's gonna love us? It took Christ to come back. We don't.
Well, since you said it, go to Sirach 12:6.
Right.
He said they're not keeping commandments.
Right. Well, here's the problem. This is the biggest mishap they have in Christianity. Hate the sin, but love the sinner. But when you go to Sirach 12:6, it's gonna clear that up. Right? Since they want to sit there and try to throw that out there, right, okay, about hatred, because they always want to put us in a category. But you know, we just have to clear that up because we want to make people understand it's in the Bible, right, it's in the scriptures. Okay, what did it say, brother?
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 6.
Right.
For the Most High hated sinners.
Hear what the Most High said. The Most High says he hated sinners. So if you transgressing the laws of the Most High and you're doing it willfully after you was told, don't do it. And you come, let's say the Most High, okay, we're telling you, according to scriptures, the Lord don't like this.
Right.
This is what the Bible says. And you keep pushing. Or you may say, let's say I'm talking to a family member. They know I just told them don't eat a pork chop sandwich because the scriptures say that. But guess what I had? I had a big old fat pork chop sandwich. Okay.
Man, I got a cousin that's a pastor. And he sat in front of me and ate a pork chop sandwich. And I told him, you know that's wrong.
Right.
And he said, I prayed over it. Like, what good does that do?
Hold on. So let's get this straight. Let me hit you with this. So I could be a daggone cannibal, kill somebody, saute some onions on them. Right. Oh Lord, I bless this right here. Even though you kill somebody, you don't supposed to eat people, right?
Hey, everything is good.
Everything's good as long as you pray over, right? All creatures are good, right? All right. If I do that, then what that make me? That make me a foolish person because I'm doing something that's not lawful. The Most High hated sinners. What it say again? But what the Most High say?
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 6. Right. For the Most High hated sinners.
Keep reading, bro.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly.
Wait a minute. Are you sure we're reading from the right? We're reading from the Holy Bible. It says we will pay vengeance to the what?
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 6.
Yes.
For the Most High hated sinners.
Hey, they say hate in the Bible. David said he hated them with a perfect hatred. The scripture just said the Most High hated sinners. So if you admit to sin, which is willful sin, which means if you know something's wrong and you constantly keep pushing it, and you teach others also through your example, the Most High hates you. Keep reading.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day.
Keep them against punishment. Because you better believe the Most High is not going to forget what you did. Because you constantly kept on doing it. You think the Most High is going to forget that? No. See, one thing about it, we haven't proven what's acceptable to God. Give me Ephesians. What you about to say? You got something to say?
No.
Give me Ephesians 5 and 10, man.
It reminds me of, you got people right now hating people that they know of, and they hate them because of what somebody else told them.
Right.
Or I can't stand him because he always dressed good.
Right.
Or she thinks she fine.
Right.
I can't stand. You hate somebody.
Right.
And here we is telling you that return to righteousness, and you hate us.
Right.
Because we're trying to be righteous. But you hate somebody for some vain.
But what did Christ always say? Christ said they hated him first.
Right.
So therefore they must hate us because we're pushing the doctrine of Christ. Right. We're not pushing no other doctrine.
Right.
Okay, precept must be upon precept. Okay. Give me that. Give me Ephesians 5 and 10, brother.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 10.
Okay.
Proving what is acceptable unto the Lord.
Let me ask you a question. Did y'all ever prove that Memorial Day was acceptable to God? Did y'all ever stop and ask yourself a question? Even these pastors in these churches, did you ever say, okay, did the Most High ordain this day for us to keep this day? Okay, I'm going to show you a true memorial. I'm going to show you what was ordained by the Most High. Because we're going to deal with memorial right quick, and then we'll get right to the topic. I'm going to be real quick with this. Give me the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 23. Because as the Bible is written, y'all, a lot of our people celebrate Memorial Day. They have no idea why. They think, oh, we're going to celebrate the troops. Okay. You're in the military. At one point, they didn't want us in the military. At one point, in the return of the century, World War I, World War II, if our people had that uniform on, the Ku Klux Klan would mess around and lynch you because they feel you ain't worthy. Right. Okay? Put your behind to death. Right.
Where's the memorial for the natives that they slaughtered?
Exactly.
Where's the memorial for our people?
No memorial at all. In fact, they overskip that. They say, okay, they just whatever. You know, they don't, because it's not affecting them. Right. But whatever cause affects them, they want everybody to support that cause. The same way with Trump. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all how wicked this is. The Constitution of America says you have the freedom to protest, right? The National Football, the NFL, issued and I have to bring this out, because 70% of the NFL is black men.
That's the whole league.
The whole league, right? Right? If you were to take the brothers out of that league, it become rugby. Straight up. It'd be rugby. It'd be looking like a bunch of, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't look good. Now, Trump gets on TV. He Twitter. He's a Twitter dude. Yeah. He says, if you don't like what they implemented, because they implemented a rule, if you don't stand for the flag, the national anthem now, You don't stand for the same flag that when you was in slavery was instituted, it had nothing to do with you. Right? If you don't stand for this flag, he says leave the country. He tells you leave the country because now mind, this will be your freedom now. The flag's going to stand for you having freedom of protest, freedom of speech. Because it doesn't fit the way they want you to be how your freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech to watch what you say. Okay? Now he says the league making you kneel down. Without, they say, no, you can't kneel down. You can go in the back in the locker room and kneel down. All because of the flag. If I'm bowing down to a flag that doesn't represent the Most High, what am I in the midst of? Idolatry. The Most High says, put no other gods before him. We're going to deal with that. Okay? And dead things is Jehovah. How is that bringing life to my nation? It's not. At the end of the day, blacks are being shot down constantly, and no one's going to jail for it. So that's what the man was really protesting. That's what the protest really, if I had nothing to even do with the flag. But to show you how they want to use propaganda to push that nonsense to our people and make them think, oh, it's about the flag. It had nothing to do with that. Okay? But let's go to it. Leviticus 23:23. I'm not going to waste my time on that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 23.
Okay.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel.
He says, speak unto the children of Israel, read.
Saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial blowing of the trumpet.
That's the true memorial. The memorial blowing of the trumpets is a day ordained by God. He said, the Lord said, speak to the children of Israel through Moses and let the children know, listen, set up this day which I have made. The memorial blowing of the trumpets, which is what? The highest new moon. That's the true memorial right there. Okay, he didn't say celebrate no memorial day that man made up. Right. That's a day made up by man. Okay, you didn't prove that's acceptable to God. What did it say, bro? Read on.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 24.
Right.
Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial blowing of the trumpet, and holy convocation.
A holy gathering. That's what a holy convocation is, which means I want all my people to gather on this solemn feast day, the day that I ordained, not the day a man ordained. He said, this is the day I told you to come together, right? Get the book of Acts chapter 10, verse 1, and read all the way to 4, man. Let's find another memorial. You know, everybody want to go to Cornelius. I don't understand about Cornelius, but we just going to touch on something right quick.
The book of Acts, chapter 10 and verse 1.
Right.
There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of a band called the Italian band.
All that means is Cornelius was a Roman citizen. He was in the military. That's what they call the Italian band. Same way brothers today is in the military in Israel. Okay, that don't make you an American because you're a citizen of America. That's just who you are. What, Rito?
We ever met a white dude named Cornelius.
Right.
That's a Jake name, man. You never see no white.
But you know, the funny part is, y'all, like I said, Cornelius was in an Italian band. Right. He was in the military, right? But read on, though. Find what the Most High thinks about him.
A devout man.
The man was devout, which means he was devout keeping the commandments. Even though he was in the military, he was devout and just at the same time. Read on.
And one that feared God.
He feared the Most High. How do you fear the Most High? Keeping his commandments. That's how you fear him. You don't fear him by, oh, I'm scared of God, I'm going to keep eating pork chops in. Right. Okay, that doesn't mean that you fear the Most High. Read on.
With all his house, which gave much alms to the people.
Because the alms, it didn't say give tithe, did it? He said gave alms to the people. The alms to the people, which means it shows the greater love of your people by helping build your nation up. Okay, somebody didn't have something and you had abundance, you helped out your brother, your sister. That's what it was about. That's what Christ talked about, giving alms. He didn't talk about giving no doggone tithe and offerings. You know, ask your pastor why Christ ain't said give tithe and offering. Y'all want to do with the New Testament so much. Where in the New Testament does it tell you to tithe? Show me that in the scripture, since they want to talk about something. Oh, you brothers are pushing a crazy doctrine. No, Christ never said tithe and offering. Christ says give alms. Read on, brother.
Which gave much alms to the people.
Right.
And prayed to God always. and saw in a vision, evidently about the ninth hour of the day, an angel of God coming into him, saying unto him, Cornelius. Verse 4.
Right.
And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thy alms are come up for a memorial before God.
It come up for memorial to God because he showed love thy neighbor, man. It was a spirit behind when he gave. He gave because he loved his people. He didn't give begrudgingly. He didn't give so he can tell everybody in the world, oh, we have a $5 line. You ain't nothing. You have a $100 line. Oh, you something. He didn't do that. That man gave alms to his people to show true love because he had abundance. Okay, when a lot of people have abundance, you look at these pastors, they have abundance like crazy. But I don't want to give money to the people. They keep it and keep buying a Bentley. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is when you have abundance, you know, if you have it to give, give. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, so that's what it's about.
Use it to help your brother.
Right. And that's what Cornelius did. So the most I saw that as a memorial. Not some doggone Memorial Day that has nothing to even do with you. Had nothing even do with it. Has nothing to do with our people. When this country was first instituted, y'all, let's just be real. We was on cargo slave ships. The so-called founding fathers didn't have us in mind to build this country. So you keep on thinking this is about you. You're crazy. It don't even make sense. Okay. Now let's get to the topic. Another rant.
Hey,
what's up?
Before we hit that, remember the homework?
Oh, the homework assignment. Okay, all right.
Yeah, last week, y'all were given a homework assignment out of this book.
Right.
The Bradford's History of Plymouth Plantation. So you were told to look up the word buggery. All right, so let me read it again.
Right.
In context.
Yeah.
But that which is worse, even sodomy and buggery, things fearful to name. So the definition, it says sodomy and buggery. The definition of buggery. Anal intercourse.
Oh, wait a minute.
So it already named sodomy.
Right. Yeah.
Anal intercourse. In the law, the term also covers bestiality. So your Plymouth Rock pilgrims, they were wicked.
Yes, they were.
They were really wicked. So not only were they sodomizing each other, they were sodomizing animals.
It's no different than today.
Right.
You know, you got these Edomite women on YouTube having sex with dogs. You got people. It's sad. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. The nations. The reason why the law. Let's just be real. The reason why the Most High implemented laws to the children of Israel is because to keep us from that. The nations was already doing that. So the Most High said, you know what? The nations are wicked as hell. So I'm gonna give y'all laws to separate y'all from doing this nonsense. Right. But y'all want to say, our laws done away with. But that's why all this nonsense going on in churches, because they don't want to think. The laws are in order. If I have laws governing me, to govern me, it's going to tell me, no, I can't mess with animals. No, I can't mess with another man. Or vice versa. What you about to say, brother?
So stay away from little Bo Peep when he counting them sheep.
You better believe that. Exactly. Yeah, them type of shepherds, you don't need to run the sheep.
Right.
You know, the true shepherd is who we follow after. You know, at the end of the day. You know, it's sad, y'all, but this is the truth. He brought us some good scholarship right there to show history. You see, that's what was going on called buggery. You know, sodomy. Stuff is against marriage. Okay, the Most High says don't do that, y'all. We don't supposed to do that. But because we follow other nations and we idolize them, we want to be just like them. Right. We follow them rather than following what the scriptures say. Right. You have a brother or sister who will argue you down, want to fight you practically. Because you're showing them that ain't the way. This is what the scriptures say. Oh, no, y'all crazy, man. Y'all pushing hatred. No, we're showing you what the scriptures say. But you want to get upset with us because we just showing it, thus said the Lord God, as it is written. You're not mad at us, y'all. Y'all mad at the Most High. Because we didn't make this up. We're just following the rules of the scriptures. Okay, now, give me the book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 20, y'all. You know, we had to touch on some things that was current, that's been going on, still going on today with our people. We're following the unfruitful works of darkness. Huh?
It all ties in.
It all ties in. Exactly. Isaiah 8 and 20.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 20.
Right.
To the law.
The Bible says to the law. The Bible is the whole book is dealing with laws, y'all. Straight up. For people who don't know, they start from Genesis all the way to Revelations, you're dealing with laws. Straight up. Read on.
And to the testimony.
And to the testimony. Testimony of who? Not the testimony of the pastor. Not the testimony of another man. Let's go to Revelation 19 and 10, man. Where is the testimony? See, we don't have testimonies here. It's testimony of the Lord. Okay.
The book of Revelations. Chapter 19 and verse 10.
Oh, okay.
And I fell at his feet to worship him.
All right.
And he said unto me, see thou, do it not.
All right, don't idolize. He didn't say look at him as a god. See, that's another thing y'all need to understand. He said you bow down, don't do that. You're gonna see in the law what you're supposed to do that. Read on.
I am thy fellow servant.
I am thy fellow servant, because he's letting them know the angels are fellow servant. Okay, he is a fellow. We serve the Lord the same way. Read on.
And of thy brethren.
And of thy brother, which means he is the Israelite. The angels and Israel were the same. Straight up. Let's don't get it twisted. The angels is a messenger of the Most High. Okay, they look at us as angels because we are the messengers of the Most High. Prophet, same thing. Read on.
And of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus.
The testimony of who?
Jesus.
The testimony of the Christ, the King of Kings, the Messiah. I have to go there because some people get caught up in names. Okay, read on.
Worship God.
Worship the Most High. Worship. Go ahead.
For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy.
The testimony of the Christ, the Messiah, is the spirit of prophecy. You have to have the spirit of Christ on you to understand the Bible in its entirety. If you don't have the spirit of Christ on you, brothers and sisters, precept must be upon precept, coupled together. You will not understand prophecies. You will not understand the Bible. Okay?
You said Christ meant Messiah?
Yes.
Let me get this real quick.
Go ahead.
This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 41. He first found his own brother Simon and said unto him, we have found the Messiah.
The who?
The Messiah.
Okay.
Which is being interpreted the Christ.
The Christ, the anointing one. So it's interpreted the Christ. So when brothers like them caught up, man, y'all saying Christ, man. All it means is anointed one, brother. All it is just a translation. Let's not become educated fools. Okay, let's keep it simple. All right. Now go back to Isaiah 20, brother. You know, it's a shame because a lot of brothers and sisters try to complicate everything. Keep it simple, man. We know it's the Messiah. We know it's the Son of the Most High. Okay, we know that. Simplicity in Christ. You know, we know who he is. You know who he is. If you do it right, you keep the commandments, you know him by keeping his commandments. But because you wrapped up, you know, man, you didn't say it in the Hebrew, brother. You know? I mean, brother, if you want to say Yahweh Shah, all praises. You right. You know, all it means is Yah saves. That's all it means. It means Savior. You know, Yeshua, Savior. Okay, that's all it means. Read on, brother, Isaiah 20.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 20.
Right.
To the law.
And to the law, to the first 5 books of Moses and the whole Bible. Read on.
And to the testimony.
The testimony of Christ. Read on.
If they speak not according to this word.
As it is written. Not based on how people think and how they feel. It's as it is written. Read.
It is because there is no light in them.
And the light is the law. When you go to Proverbs 6:23, it's dealing with the law. Everything ties back to the commandments. I don't care how you cut it, it's always going to tie back to the commandments. Okay? But in dead things is their hope, y'all. Everybody want to, we the walking dead, aren't we? Everybody love to be the walking dead. They don't ever want to think about certain things. Okay? Give me the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 25. Because you know something, we always wrapped up in idolatry, but don't understand why we're in idolatry. Okay? Read on.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 25.
Yes.
There is a way that seemeth right unto a man.
You see, it's a way that seems right to a man. We think living in darkness is cool. You know, you see it today. We pushing idolatry to the highest level. We follow other nations. We think that's right. Oh, we gonna coexist. You know, this person believes in Buddha. This person believes in Islam. We just gonna come all together. Everybody gonna have all those idols together. Just come together, one big happy family.
And not only that, they're pushing that same madness in Israel.
Right.
Everybody can come there and worship.
Right. Remember they said they was going to cast it out for a prey to the Lord's land. You go to Ezekiel 36:5, said it will cast it out for a prey. That's why all those nations are there pushing the ideologies, saying they can lay claim to Jerusalem. That's a damn lie. That's a lie right there. But read it. What did it say, brother?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 25.
16:25.
Excuse me, 16 and verse 25.
Yes, sir.
There is a way that seemeth right unto a man.
They think that's right. That seems right to a man. Read on.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
The ways of death, because you keep on following idolatry if you want to. Keep on following these nations if you want to. Guess what's going to happen? Most High's going to judge you behind. Because he said, I don't want you doing that, but let them do what the heck they want. I don't love them. I told you don't. It's like being a parent. If I told my child I want your behind home with them street lights come on, and you the only one, you said, what they doing it? I don't care what they're doing. I told your behind to be in. And so since you didn't want this, I'm gonna spank that behind. That's why we're in captivity, y'all. We're being spanked right now because we're gonna follow all the other people out there. They want to stay out all times of night. They don't have to see you. You see what I'm saying?
Lord said don't do it, but Lord, you like, Lord, Buddha said I could. Right. Buddha said I ain't gotta do that.
Right. Who was that?
I've been killed egg long.
Exactly. Read on, bro.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 26.
Yes, sir.
He that laboreth.
Now, matter of fact, that ain't what I want. Go to Proverbs 14:12 now. Okay. Just stay in Proverbs, man, because you know something? Our people don't get it, man. But you're gonna have to get it tonight. So make sure y'all pay close attention to what's going on. So Proverbs 14:12, bro, and then I'm gonna go to 2 Kings 17:1. We're gonna read about this story right here.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 12.
Yes.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man.
Here we go again. There's a way that seems right because it feels good. They're such nice people. I want to learn about that culture.
He told you twice.
That culture, he telling you twice, right? Why is he to tell Israel twice? Because they all headed. He got to keep on telling you, don't do this, Israel. Well, you know what? I don't see why we can't learn their culture.
Right.
Why we can't follow Christian? Because it seems so hard. It's like a peaceful. It seems so peaceful and serene. The Lord said, "Don't do it," but you think, "Oh, I want to take yoga. I want to be a Zen Buddhist." The Most High said, "Don't do that, man." But no, you want to keep on following. What does it say, brother?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 12.
Right.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man.
It seems right because it seems peaceful. You know, it seems peaceful. It does. It seems peaceful. It seems peaceful. You know what I'm saying? But it's not peaceful. And my brother's keeper on that one.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. You ain't fall off the edge, brother. You good. What it say again, brother?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 12.
Right.
There's a way which seemeth right unto a man.
It seems right. That seems right because it seems so peaceful. The way they talk about it, oh, other people coming together, under peace. Keep going.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
There we go again. The end thereof is the ways of death because the Most High didn't tell us to do that, man. The Most High said, I want you to keep commandments. I don't care what they're doing. Let them eat pork. Let them break the Sabbath. It ain't for them anyway.
Right.
Take heed lest you fall.
Lest you fall. Right. That's why, because you have to prove it's acceptable to God. We didn't prove that was acceptable. We just did it because we felt it feels good. It seems right in the eyes of men.
And you see other people do it.
Right. So you think, oh, well, hell, I mean, shoot, Tina Turner doing it. She's a Buddhist. Why we can't do it? I mean, it helped her get away from Ike.
Follow one, two, evil.
Right. Y'all just so listen, but see, but it seems right though, because she overcame. Because you know, if you watch that movie, it showed how she got bold, man. After she started messing with Buddha, started chanting all that, all that nonsense. All of a sudden, she started beating up Ike, right? Fighting Ike back, right? Started beating up Ike now because she got the spirit of Buddha on her now, right? Now, in that context, you think that's right because she's like, oh, she overcame Ike. Right. That's death, man. Don't think. I mean, come on, man. It just shows y'all how they play on emotions. Right. Because that's an emotional thing. It shows that the sister was abused. Right. The brother was on drugs. beat her up. She converted to Buddhism. So they tried to make it into a movie where she overcame something. So she overcame it. But in our minds, we're looking at this like this is wicked as hell. But it just shows you how they push it. In the ways of man, it seems right. But the ends of it is death, because the Most High said don't do that. But we just constantly keep on following the nations.
Yeah, and they also ostracizing that men like that.
You better believe it.
Why you gotta pick that to put on the movie?
Exactly. You know, but you know, it's sad because once again, it just shows you how it just pushes a doctrine. Mm-hmm. And what happens, we don't never like to research anything. We just go along with the program. Okay, you know what we do? We always challenge everybody. If you don't believe what we believe in, that's fine, ain't gonna hurt us. But it's up to you to go in there and search the scriptures. What you need to do is find out, oh, is these brothers really pushing on heresy, or is this the truth? Yeah, go ahead and challenge it, because you can't stand for the doctrine. At the end of the day, we can say it all day. The doctrine is what we say you can't stand before. Okay, we're nothing but men. At the end of the day, we have to follow the scriptures, but you can't stand for this. You come with whatever you want. You will not stand before. Okay. Now let's go to 2 Kings chapter 17 and verse 1. Let's deal with a little bit of history. What our people have been doing, they still doing today.
The book of Kings, book of 2 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 1. In the 12th year of Ahaz, King Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years.
Now keep in mind, Samaria is a part of Israel, y'all. Don't get it twisted. When they talk about the Samaritan woman and all that nonsense, that was an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? She was, you know, it's just showing y'all something. She was in the Gentile state of mind. All right, that's all we letting y'all know. Read on.
Right, it's Northern Kingdom's land.
Exactly.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord.
No, he did. So he was an evil king. Right. He did. There was evil in the sight of God. What was he doing? Read.
But not as the kings of Israel that were before him.
Before him, because the fathers, we was having to keep the commandments, right? He didn't do what the kings were supposed to do. Because we had evil kings too, y'all. We had righteous ones, we had evil ones too. The same, we got righteous Israelites and evil Israelites. Okay? Just because we're in the truth don't make everybody righteous.
Yeah, righteous examples and wicked examples.
Right, exactly. So we always tell everybody, when you follow the righteous example, you're showing forth the spirit of Christ. If you're not showing the right example, you had the spirit of the damn devil on. Read on.
Verse 3. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria.
Didn't we talk about that the other night? About how the Assyrians, in the time with the northern kingdom, which we know the Hispanic today, when we was in that Assyrian captivity, 722 BC, that really happened. Read on.
And Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents.
Gave him presents, read.
And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea. For he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria. And he had, as he had done year by year. Therefore, the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison.
You know, a king destroyed, president, what is it? A gift destroys the heart. Keep on giving out gifts to people. Read on. Keep on reading.
Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years.
He besieged our land. Sounds familiar? Same what the nations doing today. They besieged our land in Assyria, right? The Assyrians came in and besieged Samaria. Read on.
In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria, took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria.
Because we're disobedient, read.
And placed them in Halah and in Habor by the river of Gozan and in the cities of the Medes.
Of the Medes, another one that had us in captivity. Ran our enemies. Read on.
For so it was.
What? What's up?
Some brothers say they try to insinuate that Native Americans are our people because they also had some slavery. But then, even if that were the case, that ain't nothing new. That's
right.
So
right. You know, once again, you know how it is, brother. A lot of people, man, our people, like I said, they're educated dummies, brother. Read on.
They haven't vetted the scripture.
Right.
If somebody wanted to go with that ideology.
Right. But what people forget, Israel had a civil war at one time. So we were fighting each other. So that's not new. So we was capturing each other. So that happened in history. So yeah, if you want to say we had each other in slavery, yeah, that happened before. That's a true statement. But that doesn't change the fact that other nations put us in captivity. Right. You see what I'm saying?
And then we got laws for that too.
Right. Even how when you deal with people in war, even with the women, they try to use that. To, we ain't gonna get into that, but they try to find a loophole. That's people who don't want to keep laws. Yes, wicked as I don't know what.
But even if you have someone that's near kin to you and they're a servant to you, there's laws on how you have to treat them.
Even exactly. So it's always something. But I mean, but that's a good point. Read on.
Verse
7.
Yeah, verse 7. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God.
We sinned against the Lord their God, right? That's what we have done. Read on.
Which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods.
Same way today. We're fearing other gods. Every way seems right to a man. Read on.
And walked in the statutes of the heathen.
We walk in the statutes of who?
Of the heathen.
Are we doing it today? We watch in their statutes. The Most High said, keep the memorial blowing the trumpets. I'm keeping Memorial Day. The Lord said, keep, as we know, it's the Feast of Dedication. I'm keeping Christmas. You're following the heathen statutes. You're not following what the Most High says do. Okay, that's why we constantly keep getting clunked on the head, man, because we're not going as it is written. We're going based on what other people tell us. We're following the statutes of the heathen. Read on.
Verse
8.
And walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel.
Oh, so the Lord cast out the heathen, right? If he was supposed to love everybody, why are you casting them out? Read on.
And of the kings of Israel, which they had made.
Right? Read on.
And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord their God.
And what they do?
And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city.
Now here's the thing, y'all. Here's the kicker. It's the same over in the churches today. Even when you say he built high places in the cities, it's just like churches. Because you're giving sacrifices in those churches. That's false. So the same mindset, the same spirit existed back then. But read on, keep reading though. And what else did they do?
And they set them up images.
Oh, sound familiar. They set them up what?
They set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree.
Because that's the same thing. Groves, churches. They set up the same way you build these churches in Christianity, pushing images, pushing idolatry. They're doing it today. They're doing it the same way back then. Read on.
When the scripture say like grove would mean like the Bohemian Grove, like what you got today?
It's dealing with churches. It's dealing with chapels and stuff. Those are the groves that they've been building. Okay. Even in the time of Babel, they were doing the same thing. The Tower of Babel, they were doing the same thing.
It was like a garden,
right?
A tree, and they cut the tree, and like stomp or something like that.
Right. And then they were doing groves in every high hill, under every green tree. Read on. What happened?
Verse 11. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen.
So you following other nations. You're doing exactly what the Most High told you don't do. But you're following that. Hold that, man. Go to the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 4.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 4.
Right.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Oh. What does it say? It's like
Second Kings chapter 17 and verse 11.
You go to verse 10 again.
Verse 10. And they set them up images and groves in every high hill.
What does the Most High say? What does the Most High say don't do?
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
So that's what they were doing in verse 11. Because what is saying in verse 11, brother?
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 11. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen, whom the Lord carried away before them, and brought wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger.
And that's why they had to get dealt with. The same way we getting dealt with today in these churches. The same way we're being dealt with today, it's just straight up in existence. Because we're following the ways of the heathen. Read on. Verse 12.
Verse 12. For they served idols, whereof the Lord has said to them, ye shall not do this thing.
As we read in Exodus 20 and 4, the Lord said, don't do this, but we continue to keep following the heathen, following other nations. Read on.
Yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets.
Because all the prophets was telling them, no, yo, we got to stop doing this, y'all. Read on. Same way that.
And by all the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways.
And do what?
And keep my commandments.
Do what again?
Keep my commandments.
That's the same thing we telling y'all to do today.
And my statutes.
And my statutes. Read on.
According to all the law which I commanded your father, and which I sent to you by my servants, the prophets.
I mean, how hard is that? How hard is that, y'all? The Christ said do the same thing. What's up, brother?
Not everybody was a prophet back in these days.
No, you had prophets during this time, okay, that was doing the same thing. During that time, of course, you had Noah was a prophet.
No, but just like now, not everybody.
You talking about
all Israel? Not everybody's doing the work.
You talking about you talking about today?
Yeah.
You have prophets today.
No. What I'm saying is, these people were going to Israel to tell them what the Lord said.
Oh,
we're going to Israel telling them what the Lord said. But even though we're doing it, not everybody, even though they hear it, not everybody's been going and telling everybody what the Lord said.
Of course,
so it seems like there's certain people that are actually doing the works. Just like in this day, there was certain people doing the works.
Right. And remember something. Just like I was saying, we were ordained from the beginning. So the people who are preordained to keep the commandments going to keep the commandments no matter what. We were not. If you are chosen of Christ, no one can pluck you out of Christ's hand, no matter what. So our people are going to go against the scriptures. A lot of people are false prophets. But go to verse 14.
Yes.
Go to verse 14.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 14.
Yes.
Notwithstanding, they would not hear.
You see? They would not hear, no matter how much we prophesy, they don't want to hear. Read on.
But hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers, which did not believe in the Lord their God.
You didn't believe in the Lord their God. You follow idols. The same way today, we don't want to believe in Christ and keep the commandments. We want to follow the other nations, follow their idols, follow their holidays, our lie days, but based on lies. Okay? That's what they want to follow. Keep reading, brother. Verse 15.
Yeah, I like verse 15. Verse 15. And they rejected his statutes.
The same way today. We can show a pastor, man, the Lord said, keep this. He be like, oh, man, y'all, that's out of context, brother. Y'all not reading in context. You better
I'm thinking the same thing.
That's why I saved it, brother. I knew y'all would like it. Read on.
And they rejected his statutes and his covenant. That he made with their father.
But he didn't make it with nobody else. Remember we just started the class off by saying, if I have my children, I told my children, I'm giving you commands to not do what I tell you not to do, and you go against that, and you follow the other nations, following your other little wicked friends out there. I'm gonna spank your behind, which is captivity. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use them other people that you don't like, gonna spank you too. Called captivity. Read on. What did it say, brother? And they did when they rejected his statutes, right?
That he made with their fathers and his testimonies, which he testified against them.
Against them, read.
And they followed vanity.
Lies. The same way that we follow lies. Read on.
And became vain.
And became a lie. Because now you are what you follow. Okay, read on.
and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them.
What he say?
That they should not do like them.
You shouldn't do like them. The Most High says, don't follow them. Leave their idols alone. If the Lord said don't do it, the Lord said do it, I'm doing it. If the Lord ain't said don't do it, I'm not doing it. Straight up. So why y'all keep following dead things? Keep following them dead things. Keep on putting them Jesus pieces around your neck. Keep on doing that nonsense. I seen a brother today, man, had some daggone, had some rosary beads encrusted. Look real pretty. But it's a daggone shame. It's a bunch of lies. Okay, he was a Hispanic brother. Had a crucifix with some I think it was like either it was platinum. You better believe that.
That's what you're talking about right here.
Keep going. That's what I'm going with it. Why do you think I'm going here? Go ahead.
Verse 16. And they left all the commandments of the Lord their God and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove and worshiped all the host of heaven and served their
Didn't the Most High say don't do that? Didn't we just read? He said, do not do that. But read on. What else did he do?
Verse 17. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire and use divination.
They use witchcraft, divinations, and enchantments. Read on.
And enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord.
To do what?
To provoke him to anger.
That's why things are happening to our people today. We keep on provoking the Lord. Keep on doing stuff, especially you crazy pastors. What makes you crazy? The reason why I say crazy is because anybody that would go against the Most High is crazy. I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me tell you something, man. I'd rather go against a daggone mob before I go against the Most High. Because when he hits you, he gonna hit the spirit and the body, which means you ain't coming back. Read on. Read on.
Verse
18.
Yeah, verse 18. Yeah. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel.
He was very angry with us the same way he is today. Read on.
And removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
You see how serious this is? The Most High said, I'm so upset, I'm going to leave one tribe. Keep going. See, you don't want to play with God. You don't want to play with the high power, the Father, the Heavenly Father. You don't want to play around with that. Okay, let me tell you something. Look, thank the Lord for Christ. That's all I have to tell you. Because you don't want to fall into his hands. You really don't. Keep going, brother.
Verse 19. And Judah kept not the commandments.
Here we go again. Same thing. Now you just look. The Most High just removed everybody else, and you still don't want to listen. Still hard-headed. Keep reading, brother. Keep reading.
And Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their God, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them.
And did what?
And afflicted them.
Read on.
And delivered them into the hand of spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight.
Same thing today. The spoilers of the other nations. He allowed the other nations who he made us above them to make us serve them. Ain't that crazy? The Most High said these people are reputed as nothing.
This ain't no joke.
Right.
And to this day, our people are letting the other nations drag them into this idolatry.
Proverbs 18:36. He that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death.
All day. All day. That's a great precept. All day.
Idolatry is a grave sin.
Big time.
It's a sin worthy of death.
Right.
All of Israel fell into.
Now, let me explain something to y'all about idolatry, so y'all don't get it twisted. So people who don't know, idolatry is when you put anything above the Most High. Okay, you could put a person above the Most High. You could put money, anything that you worship, that you make a commitment to above the Most High. Because all worship means a commitment. You make a commitment to something other than the Most High. If you put it above the Most High, that's all it is. Okay, read on, brother. Verse 21.
Verse 21. For he rent Israel from the house of David. And they made Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, king. And Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Lord.
And did what?
And made them sin a great sin.
See, because he's being wicked, right? Read on.
For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them.
Read on. Verse 23.
Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight. And he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
And that's what happened to our northern kingdom brothers and sisters, y'all. In the time of Assyria.
Until this day.
Until this day, because we're still in idolatry till this day. He diminished them.
Assyria is also similitude for America sometimes.
Well, that great winged eagle.
I mean, you know, it just showed us something. I had to go there for a reason, to prove a point. You understand? That's why I pulled that. But I give all praise Most High Christ and the Spirit, y'all, at the end of the day. Awesome. Let's go to Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 18. And
I love this scripture.
Yeah, Habakkuk 2. Oh yeah, spiritual food. We love spiritual food here. Okay, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 18 and 19, and give me Jeremiah 2 and 26. Either one. You got Jeremiah for me? Habakkuk 2 and 18 and 19, brother.
You remember that or not? Yeah. We got the guy to take the cross off.
Yeah. 2 and 26.
Yes, sir.
You want Jeremiah first?
I want Habakkuk first, then go to Jeremiah. Okay. Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's a shame, but our people have to learn because they don't understand what idolatry really is. You understand? Idolatry is a very great sin. Not that every sin is not great, but this one right here, Israel, we're still in the midst of it, y'all. We still are doing this today. Okay, knowingly and unknowingly. Okay, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 18 and 19. When you get it, bro. Yeah. When you get it, right before Zephaniah. There you go.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 18. What profiteth the graven image?
What profiteth the graven image? What profit is that going to make you? You got a graven image of Christ. You walking around here with tattoos with seeds with Jill on your arm. Okay? With praying hands. Not knowing we didn't pray like that.
Right, closed hands.
Doggone closed hands and crosses and so forth. Those are graven images because you're making it out to be something that is supposed to save you, but it's not as an image. That's not even a symbol of Christ, y'all. But they push this nonsense. Read on, brother.
What profit is the graven image? That the maker thereof hath graven it.
Right.
The molten image and the teacher of
lies. A teacher of lies. Because those images that we worship so much is a teacher of lies. Okay? Same way with that American flag that they have. That's a teacher of a lie. Freedom and justice for all. That's a damn lie. Because we definitely ain't getting any justice. Okay? Every time we turn around, we being shot down. Let me tell y'all something. When that flag was implemented, y'all, let me show y'all something. Blacks are still being lynched. Did anybody get justice then? No. Okay? When the Star Spangled Banner was written, it wasn't written for us. It said hirelings and slaves. That's what they took out.
People are still marching.
Right.
Saying no justice,
no peace. Right. They've been doing that since. Let me tell y'all something, man. We're going to keep on going through the same madness if we don't come back to this. We tried everything known to man. It ain't helped us yet. Try keeping these commandments in the faith of Christ. I'm talking about keeping the commandments. See, Christianity don't teach keep commandments. They don't tell you all the commandments are done away with.
All you need is love.
Love. But love is keeping the commandments.
Right. They talking about feelings.
Feelings.
That's a homosexual doctrine.
Right, all day. And it will remain that way until the men take back their rightful place as being men. That's the problem right there. They don't want the men to be men. They want you to be, you know what, brothers? Let's just say, thus saith the Lord God. No. You're supposed to speak with some authority, brothers. That's the problem with our men today. You know, we want to walk around here and act like we're a doggone woman. Cut that nonsense, man. We're supposed to be men at the end of the day. The Most High requires you to be a man. What did it say, brother? Go back, brother. What did it say?
And a teacher of lies.
It's a teacher of lies. It teaches mad, crazy lies. Read on.
That the maker of his work trusteth therein to make dumb idols.
They dumb idols. They dumb. They have no breath in them. You sit there. Man, you can sit there all day, man. You know what's funny? I went to a Chinese place one time. They had the Buddha sitting there throwing fruit and doggone money at the doggone thing. I'm saying to myself, man, they think that Buddha gonna actually sit up there and eat that doggone fruit right there. That's a dumb idol.
Like Daniel, he laughed at was Nebuchadnezzar.
Right. Yeah, because he know that idol don't mean a doggone thing. Read on, brother, verse 19.
Verse 19. Woe unto him that saith to the wood, awake.
See, death and destruction to you, man, because you're putting your faith in doggone and something that doesn't have no breath in it, has no life in it. It's dead things. It's dead. Okay, read on.
To the dumb stone, arise.
Don't that sound funny with Islam? They go over there to the so-called Mecca and throw rocks at the doggone devil, whatever they gonna call it, and walk around it 7 times. And
you know they throw rocks at the devil for real. Look at Palestine. They throw rocks at Esau. That's the real devil.
Yeah. So what it said? What it said, brother? It says away to the dumb stone.
Arise, it shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver. And there is no breath at all in the midst.
There's no breath in it. You sitting there praying to something that has no. I mean, why would you pray to something? It can't help you, man. Brothers then walking around with crucifixes, kissing them with Jesus pieces, they still getting clunked on the head. Still being shot down in the streets. That can't help you, man, because that has nothing to do with the Lord. Nothing. The Lord said, don't do these things, but we constantly keep doing. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 26.
Oh, let me hit verse 20.
Oh, hit verse 20, brother.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 20.
Right.
But the Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silent before him.
You have to let all the earth keep silent. He's the high power. He's the true judge. You notice when you go to the judge and Esau, the unrighteous judge, you don't talk when the judge is talking. So what makes you think you're going to talk when the Most High talks? You won't do that, okay? Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 26, bro.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 26. As the thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Israel ashamed when their kings, their princes, and their priests, and their prophets say to a stop, thou art my father.
Oh, say to a stop, thou art my father. Because we start making molten images. We start following, oh, this is my God. Knowing doggone where the Most High hates that. Read on.
Thou hast brought me forth, for they have turned their back unto me.
The Most High said they turned their back on him. The same way our people do today, we turn our back to the Most High. Read on.
But in that time, turn their back unto me, and not their face. But in the time of their trouble, they will say, arise, and save us.
Oh, help us, Lord. Okay, read on. What does the Lord have to say?
Verse 28. But where are thy gods?
Oh, the Lord said, where your gods at? You've been praying in white man Jesus, where he at? Where's your crucifix at? Time is, now you can hit with judgment now.
Right.
Read on.
But where are thy gods?
Oh, where your gods at? Where's your Buddha at? Where do you chant your Buddha? Where he at? Where's Krishna at? Where's white man Jesus? Where that stone at that y'all be praying to? Where that at? Read on.
Thou hast made thee. Let them arise. If they can save thee in thy time of trouble.
It says they can save thee in time of trouble. Read on.
For according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah.
O Judah, because Judah, we in the midst of it too. Same mindset. Okay? Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Read over the 3.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children.
You know what, Israel? We're rebellious as hell. Because we'll sit there and we know doggone well. And back then we were very rebellious. But how do you see all this stuff going down? You see the Red Sea part. The Most High feeds you. do all this for you, and you still don't keep his commandments.
Right.
That's rebellion right to the highest level. The Most High did all that for our people, but we still want to mess around and still be rebellious. Read on, brother.
Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me.
You don't want to take counsel of the Most High. You want to take counsel of the so-called white man. So-called white man tell you this, you run to him. Most High said, don't do this, but you do exactly what the Most High told you not to do. And you expect results. Oh, I want him to bless me. Well, you ain't doing what he tell you to do. How he supposed to bless you? You don't take counsel of the Most High. Read on.
And but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
That's what we do, man. We add sin to sin. You know, because when you run to idolatry, then you're going to start being covetous. What it does, it spawns other sins. Because what starts to happen, you start to want different things. You see, that's what started to happen with idolatry. Was that verse 3?
No, that was just verse 1. Verse 2. That walked down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
Now, Pharaoh is the same way, that wicked system in Pharaoh, same mindset today. We go to the other rulers. We don't go to the Most High. We're strengthening ourselves to the new Egypt, the new Pharaoh. Read on.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
You know when you cast a shadow on something? Like this place is the shadow of Egypt. Because they follow idolatry to the highest level. Okay? Idolatry to the highest level. To the point where you have to wash the monument, the obelisk in D.C. That's an idol right there. Okay? All these monuments are idols. Why do you think these white supremacists fighting to keep these idols up? People dying because of these idols. These monuments, they call them monuments. But they die for those things. That's an idol.
They pulling down those 10 commandments, though.
Right, exactly. Read on.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
You trust in the shadow of Egypt, read.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
It's going to be your shame because you're going to keep on trying to, how to strengthen this man's system. It's going to be your shame because Most High ain't going to protect you because you ain't asking for his counsel. You asking for the oppressor's counsel. You're not asking for the counsel of the scriptures. You're going to other philosophies of men and not taking counsel of the Most High. Read on, brother.
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
Your confusion. That's how we confused, man.
It's just like them. They keep marching. Why? This man is not going to help you.
What's the definition of insanity?
Right.
Insanity is when you constantly do something expecting different results, man. It's like it's sad because we constantly keep marching and not realizing, come back to who you are. Once you realize who you are, then you walk in it. If I know let me say something to you. It's easy. See, for them to constantly keep telling you you're African, you're gonna walk in there. Because you ain't gonna know the laws are for you. So us being Israelites, we have to know like a nationality to know what part we play. You gotta know who the players are. So it don't make no sense. People say nationality don't matter. It does.
I just thought real quick. I just thought about something. Since our people started marching, as a people, we have plummeted
big time.
Every category we have plummeted. Just going straight down. It has not helped.
It is not going to help because we ain't keeping commandments, y'all. We tried every doggone thing on the man. But was that it, brother?
Yeah, that was one.
Give me Isaiah 31 and 1 and read over the 4, bro. And then we're gonna go to Jeremiah 10 and 10 after that.
The book of Isaiah.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 31 and verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
See, woe to death and destruction. Because remember, Egypt at this point is destroyed. So it's a similitude. Okay, it's just telling you at this point, woe unto them going to Egypt, the new Egypt, the spiritual Egypt. Read on.
And stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong.
Because you trust in this man's military. You trust because, oh, I know I'm good. Because you trust in oppression. You trusting in this, right? You ain't trusting the Most High can protect you from destruction. You trusting in this man. Read on.
But they look not unto the Holy One.
Oh, you don't look to him. You don't be like, all the time you look to the Most High, man, is when something tragic happened to you and your family. Then you want, you see family members call you, man, you got a word for me, man. You ain't talk to your family members in forever. Because they know you in the word, can you pray for us? Can you give us a word? But you trusting in, what did it say, brother? What are you doing?
But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel.
You don't look to him. Read on.
Neither seek the Lord.
You don't seek the Most High. Read on.
Verse 2. Yea, he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his word.
Oh, the Most High ain't gonna call back his words. He gonna bring evil because he controls good and evil at the end of the day. Read on.
But will arise against the house of the evildoers.
Oh, the evildoers, because you're the one that don't want to keep commandments. So that's why he's gonna say he's gonna rise against the evildoers. Read on.
And against the help of them that work iniquity.
That work sin. The help of them that work iniquity is sin. Right? Read on.
Verse 3. Now the Egyptians are men.
Oh, then the Egyptians. So you brothers out there want to be Egyptians. Listen to this scripture. What did it say?
Now the Egyptians are men. And not God.
Oh, I thought you were gods. The Egyptians are men and not God. You keep on trying to follow these doggone simple Egyptians if you want to. Most High got something for them too. You want to line up with them if you want to. Read on.
And their horse is flesh, and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that help shall fall, and he that is hope shall fall down, and they shall fall together.
They should fall together because guess what? You partaking in this wicked act. So you keep on following these nations and following their customs if you want to. Keep on doing it. You see what happens. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 10, brother. Yeah, go with verse 4. I'm sorry.
Verse 4. For thus hath the Lord spoken unto me, like as a lion and a young lion roaring on his prey. A multitude of shepherds is called forth against him. He will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall the Lord of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion.
He will fight for Mount Zion. He will fight for us if we do what? We be obedient. He will fight for us against our enemies if we're obedient to him. If we don't, and the nations know this. They know that if we don't keep commandments, they can destroy us at an alarming rate, and they're doing it today. Okay? Now Jeremiah 10:10.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 10. But the Lord is the true God. He is the living God and an everlasting King. And his wrath, the earth shall tremble. This is his wrath.
You better believe it because the earth, because when the Most High come back, when Christ come back, y'all, it ain't going to be pretty. I want you to give me Daniel 3:1-2.
And the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation.
The nations will not be able to abide his righteous hatred. That's righteous hatred. Indignation is righteous hatred, y'all. The nations won't be able to deal with that. Believe that. You know, brother?
Verse 11. Thus shall ye say unto them, the gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth.
Oh, they're going to perish too. Because like I said, Buddha ain't going to be on the earth. All that stuff going to get purged. Okay? Islam ain't going to be on the earth. Christianity ain't gonna be in the earth. White man Jesus definitely gonna be in the earth. Believe that. Read on.
And from under these heavens, he have made the earth by his power.
The Most High made the earth by his power. There was no such thing as no Big Bang theory. Okay, the Most High said he made the earth by his power. Read on.
He have established the world by his wisdom.
By his wisdom. It won't by the wisdom of man. Because man always claimed, oh, when the earth was formed like this, was formed over 20 million years ago. Where was you back there in 20 million years ago? Foolishness, man. But our people go along with it. Okay, it was 20 million years ago. What did he say, brother? What did he say?
And have stretched out the heavens by his discretion.
By his discretion, the Most High God created everything. Read on.
When he uttered his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens.
He spoke it. He created space. He created the stratosphere. Read on.
And he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain.
That's why you see the lightnings today. The meteorologist, Mother Nature. No, the Most High does all of it. He's communicating through the lightnings and thunders. Read on.
And bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. Every man is brutish in his knowledge.
You better believe that.
Every founder is confounded by the graven image.
By the what?
By the graven image.
What makes it graven is when you bow down to it. You're confused. And that's why we're in a state of confusion today. Was that it, brother?
For his molten image is falsehood.
His molten image is what?
Is falsehood.
It's falsehood. What verse is that?
14.
You need to always go all the way to 16.
And there is no breath in them.
There's no breath. It's a dead thing. There's no breath in it. There's no breath in it. It has no life. All it does is represent death. Read on.
They are vanity.
They are lies. Once again, we're dealing with lies again. Read on.
And the work of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish.
Oh, they're going to perish when the time of judgment comes. You're going to perish along with it. The work of errors. The work of errors. Exactly, the work of errors.
The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things.
You better believe that. The former of all things, because we're not like that. We're not fashioned like that. Read on.
And Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Oh,
the Lord of hosts is his name.
The Lord of hosts is his name. So I don't know what y'all, we just read that in the scripture. That's what the scripture say, right? More after the Lord, right? Okay. Now we're going to go to my man Daniel. Let's find out what Daniel had to say. Give me the book of Daniel, chapter 3 and verse 1. And give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13.
The book of Daniel, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Right.
Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains and judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province, to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Verse 3. Then the princes, governors, and captains, and judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up.
Oh, stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar set up. Read on.
Verse 4. Then an herald cried aloud, to you is commanded, O people, nations, and languages.
Oh, sounds familiar today, right? Nations and languages, right? Read on.
One nation under God.
Exactly. Exactly. One nation under God. Keep on.
Verse 5. That at the time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the sorcery, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship. And the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
The national anthem.
God.
So the national anthem played, put your hand on your heart. Same spirit. What it say? All these at the time you hear the sound, it says rise. Read on. But what's the judgment they have? In verse 6.
Verse 6. And whoso falleth down, and whoso falleth not down and worship it, shall the same hour be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
So if you don't rise for that flag, that idol, your game check gets cut, Negro. Just because you don't you realize it's a privilege to be an American? If you don't like it, this is what's going to happen to you. This is the judgment. Even though your same doctrine tells me I have the right to do that, but when I do it, you're going to demonize me, right? Sure enough, right? Do this. But because they want to be seen, What did he say? So he said, you're going to be thrown to the judgment is, if you don't keep his commandments,
right,
they're going to put your behind the furnace. Read on.
Verse 7. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, the flute, harp, sackbut, sorcery, and all the kinds of music, all the people
read,
the nation,
all the other nations too, same way today, right? Read on.
And the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
But read on, though.
Verse 8. Wherefore, at that time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews.
Because now the higher up starting to see something. Wait a minute. Those Negroes they're not bowing down. That's a controversy going on. Those Negroes ain't bowing down to the image, to what we set this up. They're playing.
Just like in First Maccabees, about the brother, the old brother. You can't. Esau don't want you to not obey. What he wants you to do in front of other people.
To my Eliezer.
Yeah. Right. You can't be the person setting an example of what to do righteously. They're going to ostracize you.
You better believe that. Now remember what it said. Who is this? The Chaldeans. The Chaldeans is the elite sect. Right. The elite sect of what you know as the Cushites, which is Nebuchadnezzar. So they accused the Jews. They realized something. They're not dancing to the music. Something ain't right. They ain't dancing to the music. Read on.
Verse 9. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Verse 10. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, harp, sackbut, sorcery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image.
It's the same way today. When that national anthem play, you better stand up and put your hand over your heart. You gonna do it, Negroes, or leave the country. Because we say you're un-American if you don't do it. The same way, the same spirit with Nebuchadnezzar is telling the people here. If you don't do it, what's going to happen? Keep reading. Verse 11, bro.
Verse 11. And whoso falleth not down.
Now here's the judgment. If you don't want to do this, I'm going to take your career from you. Ask Colin Kaepernick. Because he decided he wanted to make a difference. He said, I'm gonna put. He had nothing to do with the flag. The man said, look, it's police brutality. People are dying in the streets. What are we going to do about it? Nah, it's about the flag. Nah, he want to disrespect the flag.
A buddy of mine called me and was telling me a story. Also Colin Kaepernick's former teammate, Eric Reed.
They did the same thing to him. Yeah, did the same thing to him. Okay? Because why? Because you don't want to bow down to an image. You want to bow down to an idol. That's an idol. The Most High says don't do that. Don't stand for something like that. But because, like I said, once again, they're pushing idolatry. Read on.
Verse 11. And whoso falleth not down and worship, that he should be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
That's the judgment. Read on.
Verse 12. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded.
They disrespected you, king. That's like talking to Trump right now. Because Trump is the big time. He's the one that's pushing this, telling you if you don't do it, this is what's going to happen to you. Those SOBs. You understand? He gonna call them SOBs for trying to stand up for something that's affecting our community. But yet the white supremacists, you just said they good old people. Right. Those good old boys. He's showing you who he is, y'all. I don't understand why people don't understand. That man's showing you who he is. Okay? Read on.
They serve not thy God.
They don't serve his God. They don't serve what he believes in. Because, now mind you, we're supposed to have freedom of religion, right? Freedom of everything, right? But because you don't want to see it their way, they demonize you, right? That's a hypocrite. Okay, that's what the man was saying. That flag don't represent what it's supposed to represent. Why am I going to go deal with something that's a hypocrisy? Okay, it don't make sense. So why should I bow down to something that I know is wrong? It don't make sense. Read on.
Nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Verse 13. Then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage.
Oh, and now you're mad. Sound familiar? Saying what happened to Trump, he got angry. Oh, them SOBs was angry. Upset. They don't want to buy it. Had nothing to do with the flag. Nothing. It was a silent protest.
Right.
That's all it was. Had nothing to do with it. They're just trying to show you there's injustice going on. But no. Read on.
Then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king.
He said, bring those Negroes for me right now. Because you don't want to bow down to my image, bring them before me right now. You want to put some fear in your heart now. Right? Same way you want to do to put fear in your heart. Read on.
Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true?
He said, is it true? I'm going to hear it from your mouth. Read on.
O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, do ye not serve my God, nor worship the golden image which I have set up?
He said, is it true? You don't want to bow down to my images like I said? Read on.
Verse 15. Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye shall fall down and worship the image which I have made.
Because he's telling you, if you don't do what I say do, this is what's going to happen to you Negroes. So what I suggest you do is when the song starts to play, you better dance like I told you. Read on.
Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast in the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hand?
Where your God at? You daggone Israelites, where your God? Y'all talk about the God, Israel. I'm the God. You understand? When I say dance, I say dance. When I say stand up and worship, when we tell you to worship, you better do exactly what we tell you to do. Or else. Let's hear what our brothers had to say about that. Read on.
Verse 16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
So let's see, we're going to use wisdom. We ain't going to answer in this matter, but we're going to tell you something else too, what you need to know. Read on.
Verse 17. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from this burning fiery furnace.
Because he said, you know what? All right. We're going to show you something. Our God is more powerful than your God. Right? Read on.
And he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king.
He said, king, you know what? Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do, because guess what? Our God will deliver us from this nasty captivity. Read on. Exactly. Do what you do. Read on.
Verse 18. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy God.
We ain't serving your gods. Take that. We're not serving your gods. Because the Most High, the God of Israel, the God of all, says don't do this. Right? We're not falling down for it. Read on.
No, worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
No, read on.
Verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury.
He ain't like that. Oh man, who these Negroes think they are? They know who I am. Read on.
And the form of his vision was changed against Shadrach.
You can imagine how you know how drunk it read. The same way today. He was hit. His visage was. He was angry now. Read on.
Against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated.
Which means they heat that thing. He was so mad, he said, man, heat that thing up to the point where it want to burn up everything. Now I'm going to increase the stakes now. Okay, since you don't want to bow down to my images, I'm going to increase the stakes. I'm going to make it hotter. We're going to see if your God don't save you then. Men of God. Read on.
Verse 20. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Oh, so you have to have some faith on this, bro. That's like them doing us like this today. And they throwing us in the front. Man, you better make sure you have some serious faith.
Notice they had on pants.
Yes, they did. Hosing, right? Hosing, right?
His pants.
Exactly. Holes in his pants, right? Because they always say panty in the Bible. Yes, it is. Holes in his pants. Read on.
Verse 22. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men.
Slew the men. That's how bad. That show you. It slew them. Read on.
It was urgent, and the furnace exceedingly hot. The flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Read on.
Verse 23. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Now these men have some serious faith, y'all. They actually threw them in the furnace. But read on.
Verse 24. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished and rose up in haste.
He stood up like, what the heck? What? Read on.
And spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast three men bound in the midst of the fire?
He said, wait a minute, man. Hold on. We threw three men in this furnace. Read on.
They answered and said unto the king, true, O king.
True, O king. Yeah, we did. Read on.
He answered and said, lo, I see four men loose.
He said, whoa, I see 4 men loose. Read on.
Walking in the midst of the fire.
Oh, man, unscathed. That's the same faith the 1/3 will have if we keep the commandments. Walking through the fire, brothers and sisters. That's the same. And guess who's going to bring through the fire? Read on.
Walking in the midst of the fire, and they had no hurt.
Oh, no hurt, man. You're in the worst conditions. The fire burn all around you. And what's going to happen?
And the form of the foot is like the Son of God.
This Old Testament.
Like who?
Like the Son of God.
Remember that scripture. If you ever battle the Old Testament,
that's where I'm going with it.
Remember that scripture.
Now remember, this is similar to y'all. It goes twofold. All right? The old Babylon, what you think happened? The new Babylon, what you think gonna happen? Read on. Keep going.
Verse 26. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God.
He had to respect them. Said, oh, wait a minute. You are servants. That's how astonished the nation's going to be when 1/3 of Israel get brought through the fire. They're going to be like, my God, did you see that? They're going to be like, yo, the Most High is real. I want to be an Israelite. Too late. Read.
And come hither. Then Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego came forth out of the midst of the fire.
Read on.
And the princes, governors, and captains, and kings, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men upon whose body the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head singed, neither their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
What did Nebuchadnezzar have to say? Read.
Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, blessed be God.
Oh, blessed be who?
Blessed be the God.
Why he said his gods?
Blessed be the God.
Blessed be the God. Read.
Of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who had sent his angel and delivered his servant that trusted in him.
He said trust in oppression. He didn't say trust in Babylon. He didn't say trust in America. He said trust in the Most High. Read on.
And have changed the king's word and give their body that they might not serve nor worship any God.
Worship what?
Except their own God.
Except their own God. That's who we worship, the Most High God. That's who we worship, nobody else. No other idols. Read on, brother.
Verse 29.
Right.
Therefore, I make a decree.
Because then you had this wicked judge. I'm going to make a decree now. Read on.
That every people, nation, and language which spake anything amiss against God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces.
When a man waves please the Most High, what should happen? There we go. Read on, brother.
And their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God.
There's no other what?
There's no other God that can deliver after this sort.
Because even he understood that point. Hey man, that's a bad power. That's a great power right there. They can deliver you through the worst. Let me tell you something. You walk through a nuke. Do you realize the look gonna be on people's face? They can be like, wait a minute, hold up. They walk through a nuke. The same way what happened with these brothers here, right?
People they don't see the similitude.
They don't see the similitude, dude.
Like the bush burning.
Right.
The angel in the bush.
Right.
The bush looked like it was burning.
Right. It walked.
Hey, what's that song, Jump Around? If you walk through a nuke, man, I'll be like, pack it up, pack it in. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's get up out of here.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1.
We're going to 10?
Yeah, go all the way to 10.
The book, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of God.
Because they're ignorant of God. Lies, vain by nature. Read on.
And could not out of the good things that are seen known him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the work master.
The work master is the Most High, man. He's the work master. He's the one that creates all the elements, everything.
Right.
Our people, they so astonished by how the world of the Most High do all this. It must be science.
Right.
Read on.
But deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent water or the lights of heaven.
The lights of heaven, the stars, read on.
To be the gods which govern the world.
Because they think they're making them into gods now. People worship the stars, making them into idols. Okay, you see people doing it today. Worshiping idols, read on.
With whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods.
To be gods. That's what happened. Took them to be gods. Read on.
Let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty.
The first author of beauty. The first one that created plants. He created you're amazed how the Most High created even the human body, man.
Right.
The ability to create life. The Most High did that to design us to the point where he made us basically almost perfect. Okay? The Most High did that. Man tried to duplicate it, but you can't duplicate something that is of the Most High.
Right.
Read on, brother.
For the first author of beauty have created them. But if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them.
How much mightier is the great power, the greatest power ever known of the universe, is that made them. Read on.
For by the greatness and beauty of the creatures, proportionably the maker of them is seen.
He's seen because when you consider how the Most High created different species of animals, and what these animals can do, you'll be saying and say, wow, it has to be a mastermind to create all this. Right. These animals and these different creatures and these elements he created is perfect. I mean, the sun is exactly the right distance to keep us from being burnt up. The Most High created these things. He's the one that does it. But we take them to be gods. Okay, you know what? The moon is beautiful. I'm going to worship the moon. I'm going to worship the sun. The Most High said don't worship that. That's idolatry.
One chose to worship the creator more than the creator.
Exactly. Read on. Exactly. Read on.
But yet for this, they are the less to be blamed. For they peradventure err, seeking God.
They seeking the Most High. They seeking God through these things, right? Through the idolatry. Read on.
And desirous to find him. For being conversant in his works, they search him diligently and believe their sight, because the things are beautiful that are seen.
They believe to say those are beautiful things, right? Those are beautiful. The gold is beautiful. Minerals are beautiful. Okay, that's beautiful stuff that the Most High created. But read on.
Howbeit, neither are they to be pardoned. For if they were able to know so much,
if you ever know, you had so much knowledge. If you ever know so much, read on.
that they could aim at the world, how did they not sooner find out the Lord thereof?
How could you not find the Lord since you know so much? How you can't figure out the Most High? You're never going to figure him out. His ways are higher than our ways. Read on.
But miserable are they.
Oh, you're miserable because you're like, man, how was he made? How did you do this? You miserable trying to figure this stuff out. You end up going crazy. Read on.
And then dead things is their hope.
Oh, and what things, y'all?
Dead things.
The Most High calls it dead things. Was that what verse was that?
Who called them gods?
Who called them what?
Who called them gods?
Because you worshiping all the host of heaven. You worshiping these different things.
Which are the works of men's hands.
The works of men's hands, idolatry, brother.
Gold and silver to show art in, and resemblances of beasts, or a stone good for nothing.
Good for nothing.
The work of an ancient hand. That's it.
That's it. Work of an ancient hand. So that is goes to show you. Last couple of scriptures, man. Give me Proverbs 21:16, and also give me Baruch chapter 3, verse 1 through 7.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 21, and verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
That's what's happening to our people today. Because when you wander out of the way of understanding, Most High says don't follow idols. And idols, like I said, once again, don't have to be things. It could be people. You may follow a man. You may idolize a man or a woman. You follow that person because you have respect for persons. You follow that person no matter what. They could be in the midst of sin. You're going to follow them anyway. That's idolatry. You can't do that. But our people do that. They follow that. They do that nonsense all the time. Okay, whether it's a political figure, whether it's a person who is, let's say, a pastor of a church, or whatever it may be, you put that person above the scriptures. You'll follow what pastors say, but the word says something different. Right. That's idolatry. My pastor say this, but the scriptures say this. Who you going to believe? The pastor, or you going to believe the scriptures? You see? What did he say? Baruch 3 and 1, brother?
The book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Yes.
O Lord Almighty, God of Israel, the soul in anguish, the troubled spirit cries unto thee.
Yeah, because we cry to the Most High. We in captivity, bro. At the end of the day, read on.
Hear, O Lord, and have mercy, for thou art merciful.
Because he's merciful by sending us Christ. Christ is the mercy right there. Okay, read on.
And have pity upon us.
Have pity upon us. That's repentance. That's repentance. That's when you know I'm in the midst of sin. Please help us, Lord. Read on.
Because we have sinned before thee. For thou endurest forever.
The Most High endures forever. Read on.
And we perish utterly.
Yes, we have. We're constantly perishing right now. Utterly. Read on.
O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel.
Thou God of Israel. He said, oh, what? Because what's happening is repenting right now. Read on.
Hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites.
You see that? The congregation of the dead, brothers. That went for. The dead. Hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites. The ones that are dead before us, and the ones that's dead now, spiritually. Because the congregation of the dead, we just read that they're in the congregation of the dead. They're walking around here like zombies. You know what I'm saying? They walk in the ways of darkness, bumping their heads. The light is the commandments that navigate you through darkness. But what happens, we just follow the ways of the nations. Don't think, wait a minute, the Most High God told us don't do this. But read on, brother.
And of their children, which have sinned before thee, and not hearkened unto the voice of thee, their God. For the which cause these plagues cleave unto us.
The plagues of captivity. That's why we're under curses now, because we decided to not keep the commandments. Read on.
Remember not the iniquities of our forefathers.
Please, Lord, don't remember those, because they was horrible. Read on.
But think upon thy power and thy name now at this time.
Read on.
For thou art the Lord our God.
Our God.
And thee, O Lord, we will praise.
We will praise. Read on.
And for this cause, thou hast put thy fear in our heart.
That's why we're fearful. Because we cannot do nothing, because Most High took that spirit off of us. Read on.
To the intent that we should call upon thy name.
Call upon his name means keep the commandments. Call upon his name and keeping the commandments. Read on.
And praise thee in our captivity.
Even in captivity, we have to keep these commandments, brothers and sisters. Not in Jerusalem only. Okay? We have to keep the commandments even in our captivity. Read on.
For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before us.
You think yourself, the same precept that we were pulled. Okay, you have to think yourselves. Remember who you are. Remember you're an Israelite. Remember you have to repent. Come out of the ways of willful sin, which is one of them is dealing with idolatry. That's what our people are doing today. Give me Romans 6 and 23.
The book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 23. For the wages of sin is death.
See, you see, that's Romans, right? That's the New Testament. Sin is transgression of the law, y'all. So if life is keeping the commandments, death is transgression of the law. The wages of sin is death. So if we keep on following other nations, following their gods, following their ideologies, we're gonna basically be put to death eventually. We don't want that. The Most High hates that. So why would we continue to keep doing it? Okay, but let's hear what the Master has to say. That always go to Christ, right? Matthew chapter 22, verse. He has it. Matthew 22 and verse 31. This is going to be it.
The book of Matthew chapter 22 and verse 31.
Right.
But as touching the resurrection of the dead.
Christ says as touching the resurrection, because he took it to the Pharisees. The Pharisees trying to trick Christ up about marrying wives.
Right.
Okay, but we don't get into that, but I'm just showing you something. As touching the resurrection, read.
Have you not read that which was spoken unto you by God?
By
saying, I am the God of Abraham.
He says, I am the God of Abraham, read.
And the God of Isaac. And the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead.
He ain't the God of the what?
Of the dead.
He ain't the God of the dead. So if you're in the midst of dead things, the Most High didn't ordain that. He's not the God of the dead. Read on.
But of the living.
Of the what?
Of the living.
Of the living. That's who he's the God of. He's not the God. He's not the God of dead things. So you want to keep on following dead things? Be my guest. Okay.
Yeah, so you Egyptians, that book of the dead,
right?
Got nothing to do with the Most High.
Nothing to do with the Most High God. The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29.
The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29.
Right.
Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man.
And that's who we must obey, the Most High Christ, the God of the living, rather than dead things. Okay? Understand something, brothers and sisters. We have to give the Most High Christ all the praise and glory for just allowing us to be in this truth. Okay? Without Christ and the Most High, we're nothing. Okay? Was everyone clear on tonight's class? Anyone have any questions pertaining to tonight's class? Anyone have any questions?
And in Baruch, hearing out the prayers of the Baruch 3 and 4, hearing the prayers of the dead Israelites. Is that like the dead Israelites are us, right?
Right.
So then
it goes twofold. It's the dead Israelites are dead, spiritually dead, the ones that was before us.
So does that connect? I'm not saying it's a precept, but that's just like Romans 11, 29, the Gibson calling of God without repentance. Right. But if we're dead, there's no repentance.
He judged the quick. He judges the quick and the dead. Because when you remember something, when you quicken, that means you change, right? So he's gonna judge it. So judging comes at the house of God first. So he's gonna judge the quick and the dead. So the ones who's in the midst of wickedness, they're gonna get judged too.
So our prayers being heard when we were in the world?
Listen, our prayers weren't being heard. Because remember something, the Most High heareth not sinners. When you go to John 9:31, the Most High heareth not sinners. So it says here the prayers of the dead Israelites, the Israelites who were righteous before us. Okay, because remember those spirits, all those spirits are doing is being regenerated.
So these dead Israelites.
He said, please hear the prayers of the dead Israelites. He's making intercession. Please hear the prayers of the dead Israelites. He's asking. He's not saying he's hearing it. He's saying, please hear. You see what I'm saying? When you read it, it says, hear the prayers of the dead Israelites. Right. Have mercy upon them. The same way our people today walking this day. We pray they wake up. We hope they wake up. You see what I'm saying? Because they're in the congregation there. So what we're praying, Lord, please wake these people up. Hear the prayers of the dead Israelites. Hear our prayers, because these brothers and sisters are dead spiritually. Okay, even during that time, even before that. What you about to say?
Yeah, here's the scripture to show that we're spiritually dead. Book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a second to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Revelation 11 and 9.
Revelation 11 and 9.
Right.
And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. So it's not talking about us being dead physically, dead spiritually.
Right. Well, when you look at it for what it is, our people are dead spiritually right now, and our people also getting put to death physically too. But the dead Israelites, like you're saying, is dealing with the spirits. Our people right now is in the congregation of the dead. Mm-hmm. And the only way we're going to be able to wake up is by the Spirit of Christ, like the repentance. When you read that whole chapter, it was really repentance.
Right. It's funny when, you know, like Revelation 11 and 9, mm-hmm. Christians look at that and they actually think that it's going to be just piles of dead bodies and nobody's going to bury. That's madness, man.
Well, remember, you do know, and we ain't going to we're going to get into it. We're going to do another topic on it. But you understand something. Their dead bodies should be laid in the streets. But anybody have any questions? Everybody good tonight? Everyone good? Did you mute? Yeah, I got a question. Screaming at the phone. Okay, well, I hear some people here. Was everyone good tonight? Everyone good on tonight's topic? You already unmuted everybody? Everybody good? Okay. Huh? Okay, all right, okay, all right. Well, once again, y'all stay safe, stay strong. Most High Christ bless everybody. Until next time, like I said, man, y'all stay strong. Love you. Okay, glad everybody could be on tonight. All right. Shalom, Most High Christ bless everybody.
Shalom, Most High Christ bless.
Shalom.